Winter is coming. It is cold here in Wisconsin, but it's still a perfect day for an e-bike review. And I have the Sol X from Blix Bikes here. This is a comfort cruiser, which means ergonomic features like generously swept back handlebars, adjustable stem, low standover height, and a pedal forward design. But this bike also packs in a lot of interesting tech as well. In this review, I'm going to cover everything you need to know about this bike, starting with a walk around where I'll talk about the design and components. Then we'll get into some first-person riding footage where I'll give you an idea of what the riding experience is like, and we'll explore some of that tech as well. And then we'll wrap things up with some third-person riding footage where I'll give you my overall thoughts on this bike, as well as the type of rider I think would really enjoy the Sol X from Blix. But before all that, let's take a closer look. Blix is based in Santa Cruz, California, but their founder has roots in Sweden. That's why we see more of a Scandinavian design to this bike. They prioritize user friendliness and comfort, but that doesn't come at the sacrifice of performance. Now, Blix is a direct-to-consumer brand, which means they can keep costs low while still providing a lot of value. And the Sol X retails at $18.99, but as of recording this, it was on sale for $14.99. Now, I'm about to get into the walk around, but I do have a quick favor to ask. We have an affiliate link down in the description, so if you find that this review has helped inform your purchase decision on the Sol X, if you could give that link a click before you go to make your purchase, it is a super easy, cost-free way for you to support the channel, and it keeps us bringing you e-bike content like this, and we thank you so much for that support. With that out of the way though, let's see what this bike has to offer. So the Sol X is an aluminum build that weighs in at 62 pounds. I didn't weigh it myself, however, I can tell you it does have some heft to it. This bike has a maximum payload of 400 pounds. That is including the 60-pound capacity on the rear rack. It supports riders up to 318 pounds. We have a standover height of 17 inches. This supports riders from 5'1" up to 6'2", and like I said, we have a pedal forward design on this bike. What that means is the pedals don't fall directly beneath your seat, they're out in front of you a little bit, and that allows you to keep your seat post at a height where you can comfortably still have your feet on the ground and still get that full leg extension. Now, I'm at the top of that height range at 6 foot tall as a rider, but you can see comfortably have my feet on the ground and I can get that full leg extension. You're going to have 4 color options on this bike. We have gray here, but you can also get it in new cream, seafoam, and sky blue. Let's talk components, and I'm going to start at the front of the bike and work my way towards the back and hop around when it makes sense to do so. But right off the bat, let's talk about the Blix branded hydraulic disc brake levers with motor cutoffs. We have ergonomic locking grips. Next to that, we have a twist grip throttle. Then we have what I'll call the safety control panel. This has our lights, high beam and low beam, as well as turn signals. And underneath here, we have a horn that is quite effective, quite loud. And then on the other side of the handlebars, we have our electronic paddle shifters. So plus means shifting up a gear, minus means shifting down. All right, let's talk about this center mounted color LCD display. Portrait layout here, it has a lot of great information on it. We have our pedal assist mode in the upper corner here. Right next to it, we have time. Then we have our battery charge upper right corner. Then we have what gear we're in. And if you hold on the shift up button or the plus button here, that is how you're going to switch between auto shifting and manual shifting. Then center stage, we have miles per hour. Right underneath, we have our pedal assist mode, and that's going to relate to our range estimate. So you can see we get different readouts depending on which mode we're in. Then we have our trip mileage down here. Now on the bottom of the display right here, we have a button, and if you tap that, that brings you to your next page. This is going to be more momentary information. So we have moving time, speed, cadence, and power. Tap that button one more time, and we get to more trip information like our max speed, average cadence, and average power. Hit that one more time. This is pretty cool actually, because you can see how much effort you're putting in and how much effort the motor is putting in. Then we have our battery charge readout as well as odometer.
And then this is the last page here. Modes proportion is going to show you how often you are in each pedal assist mode if you want a more detailed breakdown of your ride and how you're using your bike. But then we have our calorie count and our efficiency here, which is watt hours per mile. You hit this button one more time, we're back home. And one last feature is if you double click on this button, you can change the brightness of your screen. And so on your paddle shifter here, if you hit the menu or power button on the back, that's how you select. And then if you use the plus or minus keys, that's how you navigate the screen. And then to select, you press that button one more time, and we've changed the brightness, and then you can tap this button to get back home. Okay, so that's going to cover the display.
Moving down from the display, we have an adjustable stem. We have angle readout here, and this is where you actually adjust the pitch. Now you can see from the cockpit here, we do have generously swept back handlebars. Then we have the front headlight here, and when the low beams are on, you're getting 70 lux, and when you have the high beams on, you get up to 120 lux. Then we have a taillight that's integrated into the rear rack here. It's nice and wide, provides a good amount of light, and it is brake actuated. And here's those turn signals, so you can see that as well. We have our front mounting points for an optional front rack with a 22-pound weight capacity. Moving on down, we have included front and rear fenders, full coverage in the back, and they are PVC plastic. We have a rigid front fork on this bike, a quick release. And as for the brakes, we have Blix branded 2-piston disc brakes with 180 millimeter rotors and a matching setup on the rear. And for tires, we have Innova 26 by 2.4 inch tires with a reflective strip on the sidewall and a street tread. All right, moving towards the rear, we have a Blix branded comfort saddle. It's a wide saddle, and we do have a quick release adjustable seat post. And moving down from there, we have metal pedals with integrated reflectors. Now this bike does have a torque sensor, and we have a 48 tooth front chain ring. You can see we have a nice long chain guard for that pedal forward design. And then we end up with our Micro Shift 26 derailleur. And let's just see that in action really quick. Then we have 13 to 32 teeth on the rear here. Then behind that we have our 48 volt 750 watt motor with 70 newton meters of torque. And we have an included rear rack here that is MIC capable. It has a max payload capacity of 60 pounds. For those of you who aren't familiar with MIC accessories, I do have a couple to show you that we sell at our shop at shop.ebikeescape.com. This is the Milkman, but you can see here we have a little foot right here, as well as a spring-loaded latch. So now if you get that positioned like so, this will just clip right into place, and it's super solid. Now, MIC accessories are great if you are trying to swap out accessories. I got a little key here, and there's a slot that this goes into. You push on that, that will release the latch, and then you just lift it out, and you can swap out those accessories really fast. Now, for those of you who don't like the crate style basket, we do have zipper styles. This is the Big Mama, and we also have the Big Daddy too, so be sure to check those out. Then we have the battery. This is a 48 volt 12.8 amp hour battery. Now this has an advertised maximum range of 70 miles, but that comes with the caveat of being under 170 pounds, in eco pedal assist, pedaling the whole way, not using the throttle at all, and on flat terrain. But I'd say you could probably expect about 30 to 50 miles out of this battery. Let's remove this battery. It is mounted to the back of the seat tube, but we're gonna give this a turn to unlock it, lift it out, and then there is a little window that you can pop it up out of, and then you can slide it out like that. This is UL2271 certified, and the bike is UL2849 certified. So for those of you who live in New York, you can get this bike. Now to put the battery back on, just slide the top of it up through that window. There are 3 little slots that you have to line up, and then you push down and try not to knock over the bike. Give that key a turn, and you can pull out the key. You don't have to ride with it in the bike, which is really nice. And you also get a nice 4 LED readout of where that battery charge is too. All right, and there is an app that integrates with this bike. So this does provide a lot of information that the display does. So if you have a phone mount, you can kind of enhance what you're able to see at a blink. But just to really quick show you, if you go into the assist settings here, this is where you can change it between class 2 and class 3. And then you can also change your walk mode speed here from 1 to 3 miles per hour. And you can change whether or not you change modes smoothly. I'm not quite sure what that means, but I think smooth sounds good, so we're going to set it to that. And you also can adjust some accessibility features like changing between metric and imperial. You can change out your timeout settings here. Overall, I'd say it's a very simple app just to change some of those different features. Oh, one thing that I will note here is we have our electronic shifting here, and this is where you can fine-tune the performance of the automatic shifting on this bike. That's definitely something you're going to want to know about if you do want the bike to do your shifting for you. And that's going to do it for our walk around. Let's get into that first person riding footage, put this bike to the pavement. Let's see how it performs and check out some of those tech features. All right, I am on the Blix Sol X and we're going to go through some performance tests. And the first thing I'm going to start off with is actually what this bike is meant for. And that is to cruise around a little bit, and I'm going to explore each pedal assist mode. So right now I have pedal assist off. I'm in first gear. And it's very easy to just hold at about 8 miles per hour here, and I'm not putting in much effort at all. So good sign if your battery goes dead, you can still pedal this bike. But I'm going to go ahead and switch into pedal assist eco. And so see if I feel any assistance kick in, and I immediately do. So that's a good sign. The torque sensors are working and my legs are spinning a little bit fast at about 10-11 miles per hour. So let's shift up to second gear, and feeling a little boost in speed with that, and right away my legs are spinning pretty fast at 12.6 miles per hour. 13, so let's shift up to third gear. So far I'm really liking the upright riding position. You got the traditional cruiser bike handlebars that are super swept back, so my arms are nice and close to my side. I'm not reaching for anything. So very comfortable riding experience. The saddle's pretty comfy too, which is good for the lack of suspension that's on this bike. Not putting in much effort. I'm holding steady at about 13. I put in a little bit more, 14, 15. Let's go up to fourth gear. And yeah, the torque sensor is very responsive, and we're getting up to about 15. Let's see if I can spin my legs a little bit faster and get up to about 16, 17, shift up to fifth gear. All right, and 18, 19 is going to be the cruising speed in fifth gear. Let's shift up to sixth. So far, I'm really liking how the 8-speed drivetrain is geared. You can definitely feel the assistance when I'm going up hills a little bit, but in eco, I'm definitely getting a little bit of a workout with my legs. Let's see if I can spin my legs a little faster here. I'd say 18, 19 in sixth gear. Let's go up to seventh gear. Another thing I really like is the electronic paddle shifter. Super convenient right at my left thumb, and it's very responsive. Got a little bit of a hill coming up here. Let's go into eighth gear though and just see if we can pick up to, yeah, about 20. And I'm only putting in moderate effort on the pedals. Now with this hill, probably a good time to start shifting down and getting ready for our next pedal assist mode. All right, and back down to first gear. Let's go ahead and get into tour. Well, happy to use a little extra help on this hill, and spinning my legs really comfortably even on an incline, and holding very easily at about 10 miles per hour. I could actually shift up here, so let's go ahead and do that. I definitely feel a clear bump up in power with tour. Good cruising speed of 14 miles per hour. I did say winter is coming, and It is very cold out, which is something to note because that can affect motor performance. The battery gets cold. Let's pick up where we left off. And I'd say third gear and tour, about 13 miles per hour. My legs are spinning pretty fast, so I'm going to shift up to fourth gear. Yeah, I'm getting a nice couple mile per hour boost with every gear I shift up. Feel like I'm getting plenty of support from the motor. Let's go ahead and shift up to fifth gear. Yeah, I'll just reiterate, it feels like I'm splitting the load with the bike, and even on uphills, I'm not putting in too much effort. But I'm gonna go ahead and shift up to sixth gear just to keep things moving here and get into about a cruising speed of 18. I'm sure we can get up to 19 pretty comfortably. We'll say 18. Let's go to seventh gear. Getting pretty close to 20. There we go. One more gear, eighth gear. And yeah, I think we're gonna have a cruising speed of between 21 and, if I put a little bit more in, 23 miles per hour. And I could hold this cadence for quite some time. I'm gonna go ahead and slow things down again though. And actually I'll take just a second to stop here. Let me shift down into first gear. I'll go ahead and put it into turbo. And this is the nice thing about the pedal forward design, is that I'm getting full leg extension, but both my feet are firmly on the ground. I'm not like rocking between my feet to stay balanced. So that's the advantage of the pedal forward design, is you get the full leg extension and a solid footing. But okay, here we go. Let's see if we feel a big step up in turbo. And I'm immediately gonna switch to second gear. And let's get into third gear right away. This bike is taking off. All right. 14 miles per hour. A little bit more effort. 15, 16. Oh yeah, plenty of support. Got to stop coming up here, so I'm going to try to get these gears in. But I'd say 17, 18. My legs are spinning fast. Let's go to fifth gear. Yep, and 20 miles per hour, fifth gear. Sixth gear. My legs are going nice and easy here, holding at 21 in sixth gear. Let's go to seventh. And picking up to about 22, 23. And let's go to our last gear here. Eighth gear, cruising speed of 22, 23. I'm just gonna gas it to the stop to see if we can get close to that 28 mile per hour mark. And what I've noticed on this bike is it is kind of challenging to get up to that 28 mile per hour mark, but this is a cruiser e-bike, which means you're probably not getting this bike for speed and acceleration. You're getting it to cruise around town. Now, what I will say is it is very easy in pedal assist turbo to cruise in that 23 to 25 mile per hour mark, which is pretty impressive for a cruiser e-bike. I would say if you're trying to get up to 28 miles per hour, you're probably not going to want to look for a cruiser e-bike, because that's not what it's really for. However, it is capable of getting up to those class 3 speeds. And I'm just going to go ahead and stop here and get off the bike. The nice swoop to the frame and the stand over height is really accessible, easy to get on. Nice wide window to step through. Handlebars and ergonomic grips, very comfy. I feel like I could ride on this bike for a very long time. Comfy saddle. Love the pedal forward design. So let's go ahead and get over to our throttle only test and our hill climb test. First thing I'm going to do is a 0 to 20 throttle only test. So we'll reset the max speed here, and then we're going to go straight into our throttle only hill climb test. So without further ado, let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, throttle only. And pretty good takeoff. We're already at 10 miles per hour. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And we are falling short of 20 miles per hour. Now, a couple things to note here is, yes, I'm on flat terrain. I'm a 200-pound rider, so that could be affecting the max speed, but we did not make it to 20 miles per hour. I was kind of expecting that. However, I did really like the takeoff. I felt like the acceleration was plenty for what I need, and in most cases, I'm usually pedaling, so I'm not usually just sitting on the throttle. I'm using throttle more for takeoff. But here we go, we're getting right into our hill climb test, and once again, throttle only. I'm just gonna go ahead and roll into it. For those of you who are familiar with the channel, you'll recognize this hill. For those of you who are new to the channel, the GoPro footage makes it look a lot smaller than it actually is, so we can put up a graphic so you can see what the hill actually looks like. And now we are just getting to the steep part of the hill, so let's see how this bike performs throttle alone. Can hear that motor starting to work a lot harder. We are dropping down to 15, 14, 13. I don't think we bottomed out yet. We're going down a little bit more. Oh, and now we're climbing again. Holding steady just below 14 miles per hour. So, and this is the steepest part of the hill, so I think I can confirm that is going to be our minimum speed is like 13.8, 13.9 miles per hour. So super good performance out of the 750 watt motor on the hill climb with throttle alone. And we are picking up speed again here. We're getting up to 16 miles per hour. The hill is starting to round off here, so we'll see if we pick back up to that kind of 18.5, 19 mile per hour max. There we go. So very good sign on the throttle only hill climb test. I gotta say this is very capable as a hill climber. Let's go ahead and go back to the bottom of the hill and we will test out the hill climb with all the different pedal assist modes. And I'm just gonna bomb this hill, and then once I pick up speed to about 28 miles per hour, I'm gonna do a brake test here, test out the hydraulic disc brakes. Pushing down on the front and rear brakes, 3, 2, 1. And very, very good stopping power. So I felt like it was very responsive. There's a little bit of travel before the brakes actually catch, but I didn't have to squeeze too hard, and I felt pretty confident with the braking power on this bike. All right, I am going to turn around here and let's drop down into first gear, and I'm going to put it into Eco. Here we go. So first gear, Eco, at the bottom of the hill. And I'm just gonna keep a moderate to light cadence with my pedaling. I'm not gonna put in too much effort because I don't want you guys hearing me huffing and puffing too much. But okay, so this is where the hill starts to pick up. I'm in first gear, Eco, and I am gonna shift up here. All right, so I'm in third gear and we are holding steady at about 9 miles per hour in Eco. Let's see if we get a little boost by going into tour. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, tour. Oh yeah, and I immediately felt a little extra relief. Didn't change anything about my pedaling. And we're picking up to about 10, 11 miles per hour. Let me shift up to fourth gear here. And yeah, the torque sensors are very responsive. I like that it was not a subtle change in support too. It was definitely another level up when we went to tour. Let's go ahead and test out turbo. Here we go. And yeah, it's scooping me right up. Wow. Shifting up to fifth. 6 and 16 miles per hour. And now we're starting to round off here. So expect it to pick up pretty quick. 8th gear. But then when testing out the intelligent shifting and intelligent pedal assist, I think the automatic pedal assist is a really nice feature. If I don't want to be pushing buttons, get a little bit better range out of the bike than in turbo mode, that is really great. I think once I'm in automatic shifting though, it is a little unpredictable. especially if you want this bike to shift down, which I'll try to do right now. I'm going very slow with my cadence, and we just shifted down to 7th, slowing down even more, 6th, even more, 5th, even more. So you can see it is painful to wait for this bike to shift down in gears, but then when I put in effort, I'm in 4th gear, 5th gear, 6th gear, 7th gear, 8th gear. So it does a great job of shifting up, but still it's a little bit unpredictable, especially if I'm holding max torque on this bike. I noticed this, it goes between like 7th and 8th gear. Now, in fairness to the automatic shifting, there's probably more I can do to fine tune it within the app, which I kind of showed you in the Walkaround, where I can fine tune how the auto shifting hones in on the cadence and the power level that I'm drawing. Let's go ahead and get into our third person riding footage. I'll give you my overall thoughts on this bike and what type of rider I think would really enjoy the Sol X. So I'll see you over there.
The Blix Sol X is a refined version of its predecessor and packs a bunch of things we don't see at this price point. We've seen it as low as $14.99, which solidly puts it in the affordable e-bike category, and there's a lot to like here. 4 color options, torque sensor, rear rack compatible with accessories, comfy pedal forward design, and user-friendly electronic paddle shifters. And then of course you have the signature swept-back handlebars cruiser e-bikes are known for, and it fits a wide range of riders and has a solid payload capacity of 400 pounds. The rear hub 750 watt motor delivers good support for acceleration and hill climbing. It did fall just a mile per hour short of the advertised 28, though most people looking for a cruiser probably aren't going to travel anywhere near 28 miles per hour. The motor performance was excellent and the noise levels weren't distracting. The twist grip throttle allows for a maximum speed of 20 miles per hour independent of assist modes, but be aware that it even works when the pedal assist is turned off. I was happy with the distinct pedal assist settings. Eco was just enough assistance to make me feel like I was pedaling a traditional bike. Tour does a good job of sharing the load, and Turbo had good acceleration and plenty of support on hills, and the torque sensor was well tuned and responsive. The sleek color LCD display provides essential ride information such as assist level, gear, speed, and range estimates, but it also offers unique insights including rider effort versus motor support, calories burned, and the proportion of time spent in each mode, giving you a deeper understanding of your e-bike usage. Blix included some nice safety features. It has a headlight with low and high beams, and a brake-actuated taillight with turn signals that's integrated into the mic rack, and they are plenty bright and run off the main battery. The reflective sidewalls on the Innova tires and the effective horn bring more road presence, and the controls are laid out well and are easy to use. It really is a complete package and a sleek looking one too. The rear mic-capable rack with 60-pound capacity is a big plus. The ability to quickly change between accessories like baskets or child seats add a lot to the bike's functionality. Here are some key considerations. The 12.8 amp hour battery may be lower than the average, but it provides an adequate range for most people cruising. While the advertised range is 70 miles under ideal conditions, real-world usage typically offers between 30 to 50 miles, depending on factors like terrain, rider weight, and assist level. The UL 2271 and UL 2849 certifications are good to see, particularly for riders in New York City where these certifications are mandatory. The Sol X does offer automatic shifting, though the experience can be a bit inconsistent, so most riders are going to want to stick with the paddle shifters, which are excellent and user-friendly. We haven't seen other brands offer electronic shifting at sub $2,000. The auto pedal assist worked well and is nice if you want to simplify things further. As with most e-bikes, riders should consider the weight at 62 pounds. The overall ride is stable and many will appreciate the ergonomic riding experience. If the Blix Sol X is your next e-bike and this review helped you make a decision, remember to use the affiliate link in the description for a free way to support the work we do at eBike Escape. Overall, I think the Blix Sol X is a strong choice for those who enjoy leisurely rides, but also serves as a practical option for commuters thanks to its versatile rack system, Class 3 capabilities, and impressive payload capacity. We appreciate some of the premium features which differentiate the Sol X over its competitors. Whether you're a tech enthusiast who enjoys tweaking settings or someone who prefers a straightforward ride, the Sol X accommodates both preferences and is backed by a US brand that's been around since 2014, making it easier for us to ride.
recommend. For another option, their folding model, the Vika X, also got a similar facelift, and we have a full review on that bike as well. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date on e-bike content. We appreciate the support, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.